History of the origin of the English Bulldogs. The historical homeland of this cute and very interesting animal is Great Britain. Translated from the local language, the name of the breed is translated as a bulldog. This is due to the fact that originally dogs were used to participate in spectacular fights with bulls. The exact date of the appearance of the breed cannot be named. The first scientific writing about the various breeds of English dogs, written by John Caius, does not mention these dogs. This only means that by this time such dogs have not been bred. At this time, the zoologist describes dog breeds such as mastiffs and bandogs. They are very large, aggressive and bloodthirsty. They were considered ideal dogs for fighting huge bulls. The English Bulldog breed was singled out in the 17th century. In the records that have survived from that time, one can clearly trace the mention of the bulldogs. In a written appeal from Mr. Prestwich Eaton from San Sebastian to his friend in London, contains a request to send him bulldogs. Bulldogs are mentioned in the play of the then famous poet and playwright. Naturalist and explorer Buffon, originally from France, believed that it was the bulldog who was the ancestor of the mastiffs, and not vice versa. In 1886, Wynne wrote a whole book, which he called The History of the Mastiff. In it, he expressed the opinion that the mastiff and the bulldog had a common ancestor, a fighting British dog, which the British bred for the purpose of selling to other countries and making a profit. Today, the vast majority of researchers and zoologists agree that the bulldog and the mastiff are definitely related breeds, which have the same ancestor. And it is most likely Alana. These are mastiff-like dogs that descended from Molossians and Busty greyhounds. English Bulldog. Description of the breed. The English Bulldog is considered a medium-sized breed. The body weight of one adult dog is 20 to 25 kilograms. Growth is on average 30 to 40 centimeters. They have pronounced sexual dimorphism. Males are significantly larger and heavier than females. Animals have a short but wide and powerful neck. There is a large head on it. In animals, the nape line is clearly delineated, there are skin folds in the neck area. The ears are small, rather thin. Due to the presence of cartilage, they are slightly raised. They have a triangular shape, the tips of the ears are slightly bent forward. The powerful, strong-willed forehead has a large number of skin folds. Bulldog eyes are not very expressive. Regardless of color, they are small, dark, round in shape. Interesting fact, due to the fact that the bulldogs have overhanging skin folds, it seems that they have a too serious, even sometimes frightening appearance. There are skin folds all over the face, a rather large fold in the nose bridge area. The nose is concave inward. Because of this, they breathe through the mouth, sometimes grabbing air noisily. The jaws are large, powerful, strong. They are located parallel to each other. If the dog's mouth is tightly closed, then the teeth are completely hidden inside. The back of the animals is rather wide and straight. The belly is slightly tucked up. The ribsage is very wide. All these features together create the impression that they have a slightly elevated back of the body relative to the front. The front and hind legs are straight, short. Bulldogs are distinguished by developed muscles and a wide shoulder girdle, massive hips. Paws are small, rounded. English Bulldogs have a short, cylindrical tail. According to the standards of this breed, its length should not exceed 8 centimeters. It is wide at the base and tapers smoothly towards the tip. Dogs are short-haired. Their coat is short, smooth and shiny in the sun. Popular colors of English Bulldogs. A characteristic feature of the breed is the uniformity of color. If the English Bulldog has a spotted color, then this is a non-purebred. English Bulldogs have a rather bright, rich color. Currently, you can find a wide variety of color options for dogs, which appeared as a result of selection. However, preference is given to the most traditional types of color, various variations of brindle red, white, deer, sand. If you have to choose from peebled, spotted or monochromatic, diluted with some other color, then it is better to choose peebled. Black color is considered unacceptable for representatives of this breed and can only be found in the peebled version, as a small number of spots. An admixture of a different color to the main one is perceived as an acceptable option in the case when the additional color is evenly distributed over the surface of the animal's body in the form of spots of the same size. Interesting fact, there are individuals of this breed that have a spot on the chest. This option is allowed for purebred dogs if it is black or brindle. If you carefully study the existing standard, it will be indicated that the most typical and characteristic is the red brindle color. The second most popular can be considered other various variations of the brindle. The third in the list of the standard is white, followed by red, deer and peebled. This is a list of exactly those colors that are marked exclusively for purebred representatives. The character and habits of the English Bulldogs. The English Bulldog is one of those dogs that will certainly require a lot of time and a lot of attention. People who spend a lot of time outside the home will definitely not be able to pretend to be the happy owner of such a dog. It is worth noting that these dogs do have excellent manners. They are very reserved and very calm. They are called companions, friends, and even nannies. During their existence in the family circle, they are very attached to a certain circle of people. For a family atmosphere. If it happens that the dog needs a change of owners, then for them, it is a real psychological trauma. Dogs are very sensitive to the mood of their owner. They are able to literally understand his requirements and wishes from a half word. They know how to please children. Get along well with other pets, if any in the house. Many dog breeders note the slowness or even some lethargy of the dogs. However, only true connoisseurs of the breed know that this is not at all the case. Representatives of this breed are endowed with intelligence and try to consider the requests and orders of the owners before fulfilling the task assigned to them. Experts recommend giving puppies to the family as early as possible. This is due to the fact that many individuals, especially those that are not neutered, can show aggression when the environment changes. Dog breeders also note that English Bulldogs are very fond of traveling, so you can safely take them with you on trips in a wide variety of vehicles. Among the distinctive character traits, one can note impatience, noisy, love of mischief. An important fact, all representatives of this breed have one not very good habit, jumping on people. Zoologists recommend getting rid of it at an early age. Otherwise, unexpected jumps of an adult 25 kg dog will cause a lot of inconvenience. Another common trait is stubbornness. If not given proper attention, they are very stubborn and capricious. That is why, if you want to force the dog to do something, you need to interest him or just be able to negotiate. She will never obey if she is aggressive, strong or tough. Interesting facts about English Bulldogs. A large number of interesting facts are associated with English Bulldogs. Winston Churchill did not own this breed. He had dwarf poodles. Future breeders should definitely know that animals can breathe noisily, snore while sleeping. Another problem of animals is a tendency to indigestion, increased flatulence. It is necessary to acquire dogs of this breed from experts in the breed. If the dog grew up without proper attention, spent a lot of time alone, it can show aggression. In too hot or frosty, windy weather, it is not recommended to take them for a walk. The short coat offers little or no protection. As a result, burns or frostbite may occur. The breeders of the English Bulldogs were such famous personalities as Mayakovsky, Chaliapin, Alexander Rosenbaum, the singer Pink. A special feature of the females of this breed is the impossibility of natural delivery. Almost 95% of puppies are born by cesarean section. By nature, animals are incredibly lazy creatures. The owner must constantly practically force them to perform a variety of physical exercises. It is this breed of dog that is the embodiment of courage, stamina, and strength. Her image is used as a mascot by many sports teams. Representatives of this breed have a very peculiar nose structure. Because of this, they are unable to withstand physical exertion and run for a long time. The dogs begin to choke. Almost all English Bulldogs love to bask in bed with their owner. Pros and cons of English Bulldogs. Like any other breed, the English Bulldog has advantages and disadvantages. Breed advantages, not demanding in care. To maintain it, you do not need a large amount of space, special nutrition and complex, time-consuming care. Dogs are not prone to unreasonable aggression. Do not bark loudly. Dogs are very friendly, patient, have endurance. The English Bulldog will not spoil property, furniture and decor. In the absence of the owners, he often just goes to bed. The dog does not need long, physically active walks. The English Bulldog shows tremendous love and affection for children. Very patient and not vindictive. Get along easily with other pets. It should be noted that the breed is not without some disadvantages. Disadvantages of English Bulldogs. Dogs are prone to overeating and obesity. Animals are naturally prone to developing allergic reactions. English Bulldogs have rather poor health and are prone to developing serious diseases, snore heavily, have profuse salivation, suffer from a violation of the gastrointestinal tract. In some cases, they may disagree with the opinion of the owner. Sometimes they can think about the task assigned to them for a long time. They shed profusely. Before you get a representative of this particular breed, you need to carefully study all its advantages and disadvantages. Bulldogs require a lot of attention that the bulk of modern people do not have. Breeding English Bulldogs. As a rule, the first estrus in females occurs at the age of 7 to 9 months. From this point on, zoologists and dog handlers recommend keeping a kind of diary in which it is necessary to note at what age the estrus first occurred, how the dog behaved, whether it showed interest in individuals of the opposite sex, etc. Before looking for partners for mating, you need to ask about the pedigree of your dog and potential partner. If the color or appearance has characteristics that are atypical for purebred dogs, you should not look for an applicant for mating from selected, breeding individuals. During estrus, females require special care. During this period, it is recommended to spend less time on walks, especially in the cold season. If you take your dog outside, it is recommended to wear overalls or other warm clothing. For the purpose of breeding, it is worth using dogs aged from 1 year 8 months. 2 to 3 weeks before the onset of estrus, it is recommended to do prevention of helminthic invasions. For mating, most often female individuals are taken to males. In order for the pregnancy to come for sure, 2 mating is done, the first and the second control. The first month after mating, the female lives as usual. From the second month, it is necessary to add specialized nutritional supplements enriched with vitamins and minerals to the diet. Pregnancy becomes visually noticeable from 5 to 6 weeks. To properly prepare for childbirth, you need to measure the temperature in the anus twice a day. Normally, it is 39.5 degrees. As soon as it falls below 37, the dog shakes from chills, it becomes moody, restless, breathes very often and noisily. In this case, you must immediately contact your veterinarian. One female can give birth to 3 to 5 puppies on average. English Bulldog care. Caring for representatives of this breed is greatly facilitated due to the fact that they have a short, smooth coat. For combing out, you need to purchase a brush with stiff bristles. The procedure is required no more than 2 to 3 times a week. Experts recommend taking particular care of all skin folds. If they are all kept clean, the dog will be healthy for sure. In addition to combing, the skin folds are wiped with a cotton pad moistened with water. An important fact, when caring for bulldogs, it is not recommended to use any cosmetics due to the fact that they can provoke the development of allergies. They can often develop when the folds are not thoroughly dried after processing. Your dog's nails should be trimmed regularly. Teeth cleaning is carried out several times a month. Failure to comply with these criteria will lead to tartar formation. It is very important to follow the motor regimen so that the dog does not become obese. At the same time, it is important not to overdo it with loads, since with excessive loads and long, prolonged running, the dog begins to choke. The rational distribution of physical activity is very important, as dogs have very short hair. In winter, in cold, windy and frosty weather, the dog can get frostbite, and in summer, in the heat with strong loads, heatstroke is not excluded. When living in apartments or houses, the dog sleeps peacefully, or just lies most of the time. Large spaces or any special accessories are practically not required for dogs. Diet of English Bulldogs. Catering can be coordinated in different ways. Dogs willingly eat both dry, prepared, balanced food and homemade food. It is necessary to decide on the type of food immediately, since mixed food is not suitable for this breed of dogs. It should be noted that the majority of dog breeders prefer ready-made food. This way of eating will allow you to take care of a balanced diet and will not create problems during travel and various trips. If the owner prefers to feed his pet with natural food, it is necessary to follow the basic principles of nutrition and adhere to a certain diet. Due to the fact that dogs are prone to obesity, protein food should be the basis of the diet. Carbohydrates should be severely limited. However, it is impossible to completely exclude them from the diet since urolithiasis will develop in animals. What can be used as food for breastfeeding? Buckwheat, millet, barley porridge, lean meat, rabbit, turkey, veal, beef, eggs in small quantities, dairy products, cottage cheese, milk, cream, vegetables, fresh greens, small amounts of berries and fruits. A puppy needs approximately 55 to 60 grams of quality meat per day. An adult dog eats 200 to 250 grams of meat daily. When organizing food, it is important to independently regulate the amount and frequency of food intake. Otherwise, the dog will begin to rapidly gain weight, which is then problematic to get rid of. With good, proper care and attention, dogs can live 10 to 12 years. Diseases and health problems. The English Bulldog dog cannot boast of excellent health. This is the weak side of the breed. They are too sensitive and susceptible to various pathologies. The list of diseases that bulldogs suffer from is quite impressive. In it you can see both hereditary pathologies and acquired diseases. Unbalanced loads can lead to pathologies of the cardiovascular system. During the period of formation, deformities of the musculoskeletal system can often be observed. A list of the most common diseases of the English Bulldogs. Obesity. The most typical and common pathology. It arises from a slow metabolism, inability to exercise and weak limbs. Allergy. Bulldogs are naturally allergic and very prone to developing allergic reactions. The owner's task in this case is to detect the allergen as quickly as possible and exclude it. In some cases, it is allowed to use anti-allergic drugs according to the instructions of the veterinarian. Ophthalmic pathologies. English Bulldogs often have cataracts, cherry eyes, and various forms of conjunctivitis. Untimely diagnosis and medical care can contribute to vision loss. Dystochiasis. Incorrect growth of eyelashes on the organs of vision, heat stroke, frostbite, dermatitis. Developed in case of improper care of hair and skin folds, oncological diseases, dysplasia. The defeat of the joints of various localization, pathology of the cardiovascular system. English Bulldog. Price and how to buy correctly. Before choosing a puppy, you need to ask about the pedigree, achievements, and life history of the parents. Next, be sure to ask for a detailed description of each of the kids. It is recommended to pay special attention to the body of the animal. The abdomen should be tucked up, short, straight limbs, a wide chest and a raised tail end of the body are the main signs of pedigree dogs. Important fact, before you buy a puppy, be sure to decide who you want, a boy or a girl. The most striking appearance and colorful features of real bulldogs are definitely males. It is worth noting that their character is more calm and friendly. When buying a puppy, it is imperative to find out the nature and frequency of food intake. You should take an item with you from the place where the puppy was born. It can be a napkin or a piece of cloth. This thing will help you quickly adapt to new conditions of detention. Dog breeders recommend asking about the daily routine, lifestyle and how much time the owner devoted to his pet. If the pet has not been given enough time, it is possible that he can sometimes show aggression. The cost of puppies depends on many factors. In the markets, the price can range from $75 to $170. At various clubs and breeders of this breed, the cost ranges from $150 to $300. If we are talking about purebred breeding individuals, then the cost in this case is much higher. It can range from $350 to several $1,000s. The English Bulldog is a truly aristocratic breed. Its representatives are endowed with intelligence, kindness, patience and the ability to analyze and express their opinions. They are perfect for almost any category of people.